a pupil, a school pupil. A pupil is because it was representing the sun, which is the light of day.
Yeah.
People were given stars for matriculation, for doing well. The elites, the elders, all of these terms go back to meanings of light.
Yeah.
The Illuminati, what would they possibly be using a term like that for when they consider themselves illustrious ones or alumni?
Yeah.
So the whole tie-in of knowledge, the way I look at it is there's nothing wrong with seeking knowledge. It's when you're manipulated to believe that there's a secret knowledge.
Yeah.
We have it, you don't.
Sure.
But if you join us and jump through all these hoops and, do all these rituals and rites and basically leave your humanity and your morality behind, you will inherit some secret knowledge that only the adepts knew.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Adam was created in the image of God. Man is already an adept. Man is already made perfect. What's all this stuff about secret knowledge that he needs to have?
Yeah.
Nature is his greatest teacher. So first of all, you're telling us that we can't travel across borders. We're not free to go anywhere on this planet, even though we're born as souls, incarnated on the planet, which is our greatest teacher. But we are not able to go and visit free of charge all our brothers and sisters in all parts of the world. We got to have licenses and passports and money and expensive plane tickets and all sorts of malarkey tied down to jobs. So we can't even move freely around the world. You're going to deny us the number one form of education on this earth.
Yeah.
But you're going to then tell us that, you've got secret knowledge on the other side for us. What could be more contradictory than that?
Yeah, exactly.
The hell with all the rites and rituals and all of that. Let me just be a person who can travel all throughout the world. That's all the learning I would need. That's all the learning anybody would need.
I haven't, I saw a documentary called Freemasons on Trial recently, and allegedly, at least, some film crew was allowed into this lodge where they did a few of their, beginning rituals, so to speak, on when they opened the lodge and all of this stuff, and I mean, we had this bunch of old guys sitting in there in a and one thing that kind of stood out to me at least was that it was so soulless. It was such a ritual that it was like bad acting theater basically, and it's all seemed so silly to me. I mean, they are in there having their secrets or whatever. I mean, and I don't care what they do in that sense, but it all seemed so so silly to me, and it felt like all of this and these systems now are actually, hopefully coming down in that sense, because people are also tired of the fact that, there are so many secrets, and if you start up an organization that is involved with, hiding stuff or whatever, actually are going to be brought into, the light, as it were. What do you think about that?
I agree. Even if there's knowledge there or not, really, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter whether there is secret knowledge or there isn't secret knowledge.
Yeah.
But the idea that one group of men tell another group of men, you are nothing, and you got to be, we are in charge now of your destiny. You see, I take exemption to that. The libraries have got Plato, Aristotle, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche. All you got to do is go and pick up a book. You don't need any of these, people in doing what they're doing. So what I'm looking at is that there is secret knowledge. There is secret knowledge. There is a journey to go on. But they are not the keepers of it. They're manipulating your desire for mystery, for higher knowledge, you see? So it's not that there isn't something greater knowledge that you should be attaining. Of course all men need to attain greater knowledge and greater use of their reason. But these societies, what's really Luciferian about it in many ways is the hierarchy concept, where they're promising you something because they're playing upon a natural need that you and I have, you see, to learn more.
And
therefore it's a kind of a seduction. And through this seduction, see, you don't know until the end. The beauty of it is it's like a labyrinth. You don't know until you've gone around the next corner what's waiting for you. So this is a perfect manipulative way. If knowledge was provided, the Vatican libraries were open to everybody, and people say, oh, there's no initiations, it's your own will. You go and read as you feel like, or you go and study as you... Then there'd be no control mechanism. So we got two things running here parallel. We've got man's quest for greater knowledge, which I believe, you can access on your own by reading so many books and, going and studying yourself and traveling. And And then you've got the manipulation of man's desire for knowledge.
Yeah.
So that there can be a hierarchy of control to control his body, to control his thinking. And as you say, these rituals, actually some of the rituals in themselves are quite beautiful. But if the men doing them are soulless creatures who have lost their own spontaneity, who have no true sense of humanity, and in fact you need to join some stupid occult order in order to feel virtuous, you know, what's that all about?
Yeah.
You know, a man is either virtuous or he's not virtuous. It's not going to be joining some club is going to make him virtuous.
Yeah.
You know, so we've got a lot of manipulation going on here, and this is the thing. It's not that there is no great secrets. There's so many revelations that people can have. But you see, we have enough books in circulation in the world from some of the greatest writers. We've got symphonies, you know, we've got art galleries. You know, what greater mystery is it than to go and study the work of, you know, M.C. Escher? What greater enlightenment can you imagine of studying the work of, you know, Bruegel? You know, Peter Bruegel the Elder. I look at the artwork of Peter Bruegel the Elder, and I'm in heaven. You know, I'm being enlightened. I mean, just by studying that man's art. You know, what do I need from secret societies?
Yeah, sure.
You know, so the whole thing is that you are your own chapel, you are your own temple. People need to get into that and stop looking for it outside.
Yeah, sure. I totally agree. How about the idea, you know, that when these lodges and so forth first was created, it was because, you know, they and their knowledge in that sense were actually, you know, they were being hunted down, so to speak, and actually fleeing from all of this. And I guess that we now then are in this, you know, turmoil, you know, this period when we actually can again, you know, freely, at least to some sense degree, talk about information and so forth, and have access to information. But when these societies and so forth was created, you weren't able to, you know, circulate what kind of information you wanted. What do you think
of course, that's in their history. They do say that. I don't necessarily believe that, because the very people that they say in their own history that, you know, were hunting them, they created. I mean, you got to understand that. And remember, don't forget that these people do have factionalisms within their own.
Exactly.
setup.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, they got loves and they got hates. And it's very easy for those to be manipulated in history to say, okay, we were hard done by. You know, really who's been hard done by is the human race. The human race has been plagued by these secret societies, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And even though they've had skirmishes amongst themselves, and they've had breaches, and they've had, you know, changes of status quo and whatnot, you know, I wouldn't worry about it. These people are very, very powerful. The kind of atomism that I talk about, that I believe is true Luciferianism, of which Christianity is but a part, is but a tentacle. You know, they're the ones who are going around, you know, causing all sorts of trouble. You know, they've been causing all sorts of trouble in the world. It's not so much that they've been hunted. They're quite the contrary. They're very, very powerful. These are people who are, you know, ruling the show from the greatest seats of power in the world. Now, they have grudges. They keep long grudges. So there's no doubt about it that they often take out certain people that are members of their own societies because of certain breaches or certain changes of allegiance.
Yeah.
We all know the kings, you know, and these people are megalomaniacs. So they're very easy to rub up the wrong way. And they don't tolerate, you see, anyone, you know, breaching any of their codes. So, you know, the Kennedy family, they can be part of the superstructure, but they can also be disciplined and murdered.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
When the case, you know, comes to, I mean, Lady Diana Spencer, I believe that was an assassination. Obviously, she's high-ranking. Her family is a very high-ranking. You know, within these orders, going all the way back to Queen Elizabeth I, but yet they saw fit to take out that individual because you may be, you know, they have rules. They have very strict rules within their own order about conduct and what you can and cannot do.
Sure.
And they have to send very strong messages to other members, you see.
Yeah.
This is like any secret society. I mean, if it's good enough for the mafia to go and kill their own, you know, bosses when it suits them.
Sure.
You know, no boss in the mafia ever felt that secure.
Yeah.
The only way they felt secure is by going killing everybody else. Well, it's, you know, their enemies. So it's exactly the same way further up the spectrum.
Sure.
It's only the people at the very, very top. There's the very, very senior ones who are hidden. That's why they're called hidden, is because even members within their own order don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They're secure, yeah.
Amazing.
You know, it's like the European Union right now. European Union, behind the Union, the people officiating out of Belgium, is a very secret group.
Sure.
I mean, this is known in politics, my God. We're not even talking secret societies here.
Yeah.
Ordinary politicians know that the MEPs in Europe are being guided and controlled by a hidden elect of non-elected, right, people in the steering committee of the European Union.
Yeah.
And this is very much the same thing that's happening in America, where the people in the Federal Reserve,
Sure,
and then people in higher element, the Black Pope and all of this. So even within a political spectrum, you have very, very elusive people who are untouchable.
Sure, and all the advisors and these kind of people sit up there and no matter who the politician on the front, they change back and forth within or every few years, but the advisors in the back they remain the same basically. So.
And they can be taken out if they should go over to the other side, or they should try to feather their own nests too much, or try to get too big for their boots.
Sure.
People even watch that fantastic comedy that was made in England called Yes, Prime Minister.
Haven't seen it.
You remember that show, Yes,
No.
Minister, and then it became Yes, Prime Minister?
Okay, I haven't seen it.
It's a comedy, a British comedy. People just need to, get that online and buy something. Just watch those DVDs, and they'll tell you the whole story of what I'm talking about. And we're just talking politics, pretty much straight politics.
Yeah, sure.
So these people in these secret societies are basically paranoid. They cannot afford the true. They don't mind if people know about their identity, but they do mind if the secrets from within the lodge, you see, the true secrets, ever get told out of by members of their own order.
Sure.
Because people, like we're talking on this show, they don't want to have it be known that the Jehovah, the Yahweh of the Bible, is exactly the same personality that they're talking about when they mention Lucifer. People are not meant to know that. They don't mind if you think Lucifer is some horned devil, and that people like Albert Pike are actually bowing down to some sort of horned devil, who lives in hell. They don't mind giving you that cartoon. But the last thing they want you to know is that people like Albert Pike are worshiping the same Jehovah, Yahweh, that Christians are worshiping. There's no difference. Those secrets are not meant to come out. They're meant to they want you to believe that there's some sort of dark, satanic, order out there who's worshiping some sort of demonic entity, like you see in some Dungeons and Dragons movie, climbing out of the swamp.
Sure.
Well, it's not like that. There's no difference whatsoever between Aton, because Aton is Adonai, which is the secret name of Jehovah.
Yeah, indeed. So
Jehovah's letter, Jehovah's number is 10, number 10, because Yahweh, the first letter in Hebrew, is Yod, the very, very sacred and very first letter of the name of God in Hebrew. The 4 letters of the name of God is Yod, He, Vav, He, and the first letter, Yod, is always 1, the phallic 1, or number 10. Number 10. And the Roman numeral for number 10 is a cross, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Like an Andrew's cross, which you see on flags, you see on products. And, British government coming from number 10.
Sure, 10 Downing Street, yeah.
That's right. Athens, Aten, we're talking Aton.
Yeah.
Aten, it just means the number 10. So they want to find out where the Atenists are. And, people sending me emails, hey man, you're crazy. We don't see any Akhenaten. We don't see any Aten. Oh, you don't, huh? You only see 10 Downing Street, which is the number 10 comes from Aton. Go and look at the window, the rose window above number 10 Downing Street. By the way, that happens to be, the rose window is always the shape of the rising sun. The panes are the rising sun. If you look at the panes, and there's 8 of them, because 8 is also the number of the sun.
Okay.
You see, which is the 8th card of the tarot, is the card of the sun.
Yeah.
In the very central pane, you see a little an arrow. There's a little arrow there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you got people can come to the website and check it out. They got 8 panes, and the little tiny pane in the middle is so very, very small. Is a Martian arrow, an arrow of the symbol of the sign of Aries, which is ruled by the sun. The sun is exalted, what they call of great power, in astrological terms, in the sign of Aries. And this is what Akhenaten was all about. If anyone wants to understand anything, even the most basic stuff that motivated Akhenaten, this is a physical man that lived, 1400